From Neural Newscast, this is Deep Dive, exploring the moments that shape today.
I am Frederick Moore, and today on Deep Dive, we are examining a date that gave us one of the most enduring images of the 20th century. It is a day defined by high-stakes struggle on a volcanic island in the Pacific and a breakthrough in a school basement in Pittsburgh. Today is Monday, February 23rd, 2026.
And I'm Nina Park. We are looking at February 23rd. While many know the photo of the flag raising on Iwo Jima, the details behind that moment and the later scientific victory over polio are far more complex than a single snapshot might suggest. It is a day where we see the best of human grit and scientific dedication.
The year was 1945. The Battle of Iwo Jima was in its fifth day, a brutal conflict that would become one of the bloodiest in Marine Corps history. Nina, set the scene for us at Mount Suribachi.
Mount Suribachi is a 550-foot dormant volcano at the southern tip of the island. On the morning of February 23rd, U.S. Marines from the 5th Marine Division successfully captured the peak and raised a small American flag. But the image the world remembers came later that afternoon.
Yeah, that is the part often lost in the shorthand of history. The iconic photo by Joe Rosenthal actually shows a second, larger flag being raised. Rosenthal was an Associated Press photographer who happened to be in the right place at the right time. He captured 6 men working in unison to drive that pipe into the ground.
The identification of those 6 men has been a matter of historical record that required several corrections over the decades. We now know the group included Michael Strank, Harlan Block, Franklin Sousley, Ira Hayes, Harold Schultz, and Harold Keller. Tragically, Strank, Block, and Sousley were killed in action later in that same battle.
It is a heavy legacy, Nina. That single photograph won a Pulitzer Prize and was in Sunday newspapers just 2 days later. It became a symbol of determination for a nation weary of war, even though the battle for the rest of the island would continue for weeks. It shows us how a single moment of perceived victory can sustain an entire campaign.
Right. Moving from the battlefield to the laboratory, February 23rd also marks a significant victory in the realm of public health. In 1954, at Arsenal Elementary School in Pittsburgh, the first mass inoculation against polio began.
Polio was a terrifying specter in the mid-20th century. Before the vaccine, the United States saw 15,000 cases of paralysis and nearly 2,000 deaths every year. Parents were afraid to let their children go to swimming pools or theaters during the summer months. It was a time of genuine public fear.
The man behind the solution was Dr. Jonas Salk. He developed the killed virus vaccine, and the trial at Arsenal Elementary was the beginning of the end for the disease. What is truly remarkable, Frederick, is Salk's stance on the intellectual property of his discovery.
Exactly. He famously asked, "Could you patent the sun?" Salk chose not to patent the vaccine, effectively walking away from millions in potential profits. He wanted to ensure that distribution was as fast and as wide as possible, prioritizing human life over commercial gain. It remains one of the greatest examples of scientific altruism.
His decision worked. Within years, the number of cases plummeted. It is a stark contrast to the way we often see pharmaceutical breakthroughs handled today, making the events of 1954 even more significant for the global community.
While we consider these shifts in global history, we also have to look at the individuals born on this day who changed our cultural and intellectual landscape. Nina, we start in 1868 with W.E.B. Du Bois.
That's remarkable. Du Bois was a titan of sociology and history. As a co-founder of the NAACP and the author of The Souls of Black Folk,
he provided a profound analysis of the African American experience. His work on the concept of double consciousness remains a foundational text in understanding race in America.
His influence cannot be overstated. He was the first African American to earn a doctorate from Harvard, and he spent his long life fighting for civil rights and Pan-Africanism. It is a legacy of intellectual rigor and relentless activism that continues to inspire current generations.
And on a different side of the cultural spectrum, we shared this birthday with two very prominent figures in modern cinema. Emily Blunt, born in 1983, has built an incredible range of work, from her breakout in The Devil Wears Prada to her recent acclaimed performance in Oppenheimer.
Yeah, she has a way of anchoring a film, whether it is a silent horror like A Quiet Place or a massive musical like Mary Poppins Returns. And then there's Dakota Fanning, born in 1994, who essentially grew up in front of the camera.
Dakota became a household name at age 7 with I Am Sam. Since then, she has navigated the transition from child star to a respected adult actress, with roles in War of the Worlds and more recently in Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
It is interesting to see the mix of voices born on this day, Nina, from the sociological depth of Du Bois to the creative heights reached by Blunt and Fanning. They all represent a pursuit of excellence in the respective fields.
No way. It really highlights how February 23rd is a day where individual talent and collective action both left their mark. Whether it was 6 Marines on a hill or a doctor in a Pittsburgh elementary school, today is about making a lasting impact.
A day of symbols and solutions. I am Frederick Moore.
And I'm Nina Park. For more, visit deepdive.neuralnewscast.com. Deep Dive is AI-assisted, human-reviewed. Explore history every day on Neural Newscast.
This has been Deep Dive on Neural Newscast, exploring the moments that shape today.